So today we want to talk to you about the aging process and how you can embrace it by focusing on personal growth, by building strong relationships, and the biggest thing really is cultivating a positive mindset about who you are and where you're headed.
And remember, learning to love aging is just not about adding years to your life, but adding life to your years.
I love that.
Yeah.
You might be wondering, well, this is just the way it is. I'm going to get old. My skin's going to droop and all of that. And then you might be one of those people that gets really sad about it.
Right.
And, I guess could be some sadness there. But if you know it's going to happen, and it is going to happen, then you need to find a way to embrace it. Because you can't stop it, like you said in the beginning.
Right. You can't stop it. You can also make the journey better than your predicted negative outlook, right? So you can predict the negative outlook, but make your journey better.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, if you're new here, I'm Mark, and this is my wife, Jody.
And we don't focus on the financial aspects of retirement, but rather lifestyle, health, relationships, and more.
So we hope you enjoy this video and that you watch many more of them. And the biggest thing that you could do to help us to get this message out to more and more people is to share this video and others with people that you care about who are on their retirement journey too. Now, when I think of someone who had trouble embracing aging, it was my dad. He was a Marine, he was strong, he was always physically fit, he prided himself on splitting wood and playing in the softball games with the younger kids and hitting the ball out of the park. But as he aged and lost weight and lost muscle, he became depressed. He felt like his life was ending. And it was almost like he was living every day as if he was one day closer to death.
It's almost like he drew the line in the sand and he was working towards it.
Yeah.
As opposed to working towards moving the line and staying healthy and happy and fit and positive.
Yeah, I think in a way he gave up.
Yeah.
He just said, this is it. The problem was with my dad, he was a big drinker, so that really made him depressed. He didn't really have a clear head most of the day, but he just gave up. I mean, he had lists. He knew how much money he had left. He knew he wasn't going to run out, but he didn't know what, he didn't have any plans. He didn't take any vacations. He didn't.
Now, we know a couple that we met. We met them when they turned 90, and they became very good friends of ours.
Sam and Natalie?
Yes, who lived the complete opposite as your dad. They weren't ever thinking there was a line in the sand. They weren't ever striving for this to be the last day before I die. They lived every day to the fullest. They dressed the part. They acted the part. They had the energy for the part. They had the positive mental attitude. And we became great lifelong friends when they turned 90.
And we went to visit them where did they have a house?
In Palm Desert.
Palm Desert. So they had a home right near us in Essex, but they all had another home in Palm Desert. And they invited us just before COVID. So it was January of
2020.
2020, we went to visit with them. And they were active. They had a lot of friends. And, some people say you should live every day like it's your last. They didn't do that.
No.
They lived every day like it was their first.
Right.
I mean, they woke up every day and they were happy. They were engaging. They never talked about dying. They never talked about
sickness, illness, aches, pains, nothing.
Unfortunately, it did pass. COVID came and they never came back from
Palm Desert
to Essex, and they died a couple of years ago, and it was sad.
Very sad.
But they are a good example for all of us as a way to really embrace aging and not think of it as a negative, but think of it as positive. You're still alive. You're
Absolutely.
Still here. So before we jump in, we did put a link below for this great free download called 25 Part-Time Jobs for Seniors. And we created this document because a lot of people in this phase, they still want to work a little bit, but they're not sure really what they want to do. It goes with a video, but take a look at the PDF. You might like it. And don't forget to stay to the end because we're going to go through a lot of reasons why or how you can change your mindset, and at the end we're going to give you the 5 steps you can take to put that in place.
Awesome. You want to get ready to get started then?
I'm ready.
All right. Topic number 1 would be having you embrace your emotional well-being and your resilience. Older adults often have a higher emotional well-being and resilience, leading to greater happiness and a positive outlook on life. And I like that.
Well, it's good because as we age, we do have better emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
We are smarter. We have a lot more experience. We really know how to prioritize what truly matters. And I think we can cope better with issues that come up because we've had a lot of experience.
Well, we can really navigate life's challenges with the grace, right, of all of that experience and develop a better understanding of your emotions. So, in this embrace emotional well-being and resilience, really celebrate that you have all of these skills already in your toolbox.
It's funny. I think about us and all the work that we do day in and day out on our relationship with our kids, our health and well-being. We don't have a lot of negative thoughts, right?
Yeah.
We have fewer negative emotions, I think, than when I did during my career.
Yeah, probably. Well, we have fewer hassles that aren't meaningful. Like anything that's hassling us or causing us distress is meaningful now.
Right.
I feel like when I was working, there was a bunch of meaningless noise that was kind of always nipping away at me.
Well, the other thing that happens now as we age is we get increased self-confidence and self-acceptance. I'm okay who I am. You know what? I'm in the best health I've ever been in. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm really comfortable in my own skin. And that really gives me a lot of self-confidence and a lot of self-acceptance. I think you feel the same way.
We talked about this last week in my ladies' Bible study, how much less societal pressures and expectations matter to us now that we're, bearing down on 60 or over 60. The group is pretty diverse in age. But, really, we spend a lot of time now focusing on personal growth and happiness. Pursuing our passions and new activities, and embracing. And I actually think marketing and advertising is starting to get there, especially for women, to embrace a positive self-image. So many companies over the past couple of years have transitioned into showing older models or using runways with, people who have wrinkles and maybe they're not, 6 feet tall and perfect, So I think all of that embraces a positive self-image.
And a lot of these are decisions you need to make on your own.
Right.
We're going to talk more about this as we go through these things. A lot of it's mindset. I mean, the body that you're in, you can change it. I mean, you can lose weight, you can gain muscle, you can join a gym, you can eat healthier. So you actually can work on it if you want to. But it's a lot better to do that than to just look in the mirror and complain about what you've done to yourself. So, it takes a little bit of effort and intention
Focus, yeah.
on your part.
Right.
All right. So what's the third one?
So as we continue to embrace aging, really embrace the enhanced social connections and the meaningful relationships that you have and that you can cultivate. Retirement offers opportunities to strengthen social connections, enhancing both emotional and physical well-being and health.
And for us right now, we've got, we keep track of our relationships, and we wouldn't say that we grade them, but I would say that we foster and invest in the ones that are more meaningful. The people that when we're together, we feel good about ourselves.
Right.
They build us up. They don't knock us down. They're not negative. They're positive. So those are the kind of people we want to hang out with because it makes us feel happier.
Yeah, absolutely. And we engage in activities, that we enjoy. Are you engaging in activities that you enjoy with your loved ones? Are you maintaining active social life, where you have a schedule for the week where you have a lot of activities? All of this can reduce your cognitive decline and keep you positive.
And prioritizing quality time with friends and family for sure. But family for us with the 6 kids, we have Markham flying down Thursday through Monday. We have Christopher coming down from Tampa on Friday so he can see Markham. So we have, we constantly are opening the door for not just friends, but family to show up. So the fourth area that you really can work on to embrace aging is take this time and really apply some personal growth and continuous learning. Look, I'm 66. I fully intend to live to 100. That is an awfully long time to sit around and do nothing. So we both are investing time in learning how to do things. We keep talking about Spanish.
I just engaged with Rosetta Stone this morning.
We just looked at that again because we have Spanish-speaking members of the family, and we really don't want to be left out. So that's hard. It's hard to learn a language at our age, but we have 30 years to do it, so why not?
Exactly. It's easy to acquire new skills and knowledge now because you have the time to invest in it. Enjoying a sense of fulfillment and purpose as you move through these new skills is also something that I think gives you a lot of energy in the activities.
It does, and it keeps your mind sharp.
Right.
I mean, our mind over time, we will start to remember less, we will start to forget things. But if you keep your mind active and you're always learning, it really helps regenerate cells in your brain. So it really is important to do that.
Okay, so the next bucket to embrace is recognizing the value of your relationships. Strong relationships are key to a flourishing life and can be better predictors of health than traditional health metrics. Think about that. Are your relationships that you have, your strong ones, are they flourishing? And if not, what can you do to build and maintain them?
Yeah, and are they warm relationships?
Right.
Do you appreciate the protective effect of marital satisfaction? We are very happily married, and that helps us with the aging process. We watch each other age and we encourage each other. We're not critical of that.
Right.
We're embracing it. I talk about that all the time.
And we also, cultivate empathy and attachment with our relationships, valuing the social support that they give us, for sure.
Well, this is a big thing for me that I talk about a lot. But as we age, it's really important to accept the fact that we are aging, number one. And number two, just making sure you're grateful who you are, what you have, and those around you. Because as you get self-acceptance of who you are and gratitude for life's blessings, you are going to start to feel better about yourself and this phase of life.
And really, just spending time appreciating your physical, mental, financial health, focusing on the positives of your life will help you embrace this aging journey, for sure.
We're both morning people. Part of our morning is journaling. And there's a journaling guide that we have, but every morning, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, and the first one's always Jody, and something about Jody I'm grateful for. 3 things I'm excited about for today, and 1 self-affirmation. This little small exercise, done daily, is really going to help you move through this phase of life with a different attitude and a different mindset.
And really put gratefulness at the forefront.
At the front.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
All right, the next bucket is let's just all face the facts. There are improvements in us as we age. Many people experience improvements in various aspects of their life as they age, including emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and sometimes even your physical fitness.
100%. We are working out more now and harder now than we ever had. So I'm starting to feel the effects of that on my body.
Right.
I'm sore every single day. And I love that.
A good sore.
A good sore. That means that the exercise I'm doing, my body is responding positively by tearing the muscle and letting it rebuild. We better understand relationships. We have more patience. We learn strategies on how to deal with difficult life situations. I've lost both of my parents. You've lost one of yours.
I've lost both of mine.
But you've lost both of yours. That's right. That's I forgot about Jimmy. He's still around.
Yeah, my pop.
Your other dad.
Other dad. I still got pop.
But these are experiences that make us stronger, smarter, better, and more emotionally viable. So don't forget to stay to the end. We're going to give you the 5 steps you can take right now to shift your mindset, like what we're talking about the aging process, so that you embrace it. So I want to talk a little bit about a difference between the normal aging process versus disease. So I have some underlying health issues. I have high blood pressure, I have high cholesterol, and I have
high blood sugar.
High blood sugar. That's actually down, so that's under control. I don't take meds for that.
Right.
But those are diseases that I have. I deal with that as best I can. I deal with that with diet and exercise, some meds. So that's under control as much as it can be. Aging is different. Aging is our body will ultimately, like you said in the beginning, we are all going to die. We cannot get around that. So our bodies will age, they'll get older, they'll get slower, be harder to get upstairs. That's normal aging, and that is something that you really need to come to accept and not let it be a downer for you.
But that's where you can also kind of take the bull by the horns and make healthy lifestyle choices, right? Understanding we're all going to die, but what are we going to do between now and then, right? Being aware of any cognitive and emotional changes in your capacity, and then seek help and development for that,
Right.
for sure.
All
right, the next bucket. Near enough is good enough.
I love this.
You do?
I do, because when you're embracing aging, it means letting go of unrealistic expectations. I cannot bench press 300 pounds.
Right.
I'll never bench press 300 pounds.
Well, that's kind of a tough example, because did you ever bench press 300
Sure,
pounds?
I did in high school. There's no way. What do you mean?
There is no
I was on the soccer team and the wrestling team. All right, so I bench pressed 80 pounds. And today I can do 85 maybe.
Right.
But this idea of
near enough
is good enough, that applies mentally, physically, striving for, reduce the need to strive for perfection. I love going to the gym. I love getting sore. I'm fine with that.
Right.
I don't need to have huge guns. You'd like it if I had huge guns and pecs, but it's not going to happen.
No, it's really focusing on enjoying life as you're moving down the healthy journey between now and the end of your life, and appreciating the smaller gifts that life brings, and balance your effort and enjoyment.
Well,
I do that at our boot camp that we go to in the morning. You know, I'm a relatively strong person, but I'm not looking to, grab two 40-pound, dumbbells and do 10
curls.
10 curls. I'd rather grab two 20s and do 20 curls. So you have to really, get close to that near enough is good enough mentality.
And it's almost, here's a good example. It's almost like we go to the gym 5 days a week. That's good enough, because we didn't used to do that.
Right.
So the fact that we're going means we're making an effort to do that.
Right.
When I started the gym in October, I could do 0 pull-ups. 0.
That's right.
Now I can do 3.
Good for you.
So
that's a big difference.
That is a big difference. That's a 300% increase.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Anyway, the other big issue that to embrace and to make a change is positive thinking. As we age, we are becoming more and more positive about the focus on living, more and more positive about the focus of living a very healthy lifestyle. And that's really important to us. And it's because of these videos that we do, the research that we do, the conversations that we have.
Right.
We elevate each other.
And I think, a lot of that has to do with personality. A lot of that has to do with what you read, where you learn, how you grow. But embracing a positive outlook is always going to serve you well. There's just no way it doesn't serve you well. I always look and think, I don't want to become that grumpy old couple. Mm-hmm. And we've all known them. Maybe they've been in our family. Maybe they were neighbors. Maybe they were friends. But we don't want to do that. We need to really focus on positive mindset and positive experiences. And there is a ton of wealth of reading and knowledge out there about this. Okay, the next bucket is, coming off of the positive mental attitude.
Right.
Just a decrease. Embrace the fact that now is the time to decrease negative memories. As we age, we tend to recall all of our positive memories, and we do tend to let go of the negative ones. And I think that is so healthy to focus on your positive memories, maybe your career, maybe the trophies you've earned, maybe the children you've raised, maybe the dogs that you've raised, maybe the friendships you've cultivated. All of those positive memories are important to keep and let go of negative past memories.
I think that's true. I think that's really good. If you start thinking about everything, even current memories, everything that's wrong with your body, and that's what you focus on, your knee hurts, your leg hurts, you're not feeling well, your stomach is upset. I mean, a lot of that has to do with the way you're living your life, but bury this stuff. Maybe your knee hurts, but your other one doesn't, and your elbows don't, and you can still walk. I mean, there are people, listen.
Well, if your knee hurts and there's a real problem, you need to focus on it, right?
But it's not all, my knee hurts, so I can't go to the gym. Go to the gym and make sure you tell the gym that your knee hurts, so maybe you need to sit when you're doing curls instead of standing.
Right.
But don't use those things as an excuse not to move forward and make your life better. It's really, I think that's really important.
That is important.
As we age, we tend to get, if you have an open mind and a good mindset, an increased appreciation for everything. Increased appreciation for our relationship, increased appreciation for our home, increased appreciation for our surroundings, all the life conveniences that we have as we age. I mean, I think...
It's funny. I'm laughing because the kids have said to me, birds have been around since the beginning of time, but Mom didn't start recognizing and appreciating the beauty in a lot of the birds in our world until I retired, until I aged, until I had a real appreciation for my surroundings. And I value that. If I see a beautiful, archaic looking pelican in Florida, or a little Connecticut River yellow finch up on our house in Connecticut, I really get a lot of pleasure out of appreciating those moments.
Well, for me, sunrises and sunsets.
Yeah.
I watch the sunrise every single day. Many times it's cloudy, but I still get to see the day get born and the night go away, dawn arrives, and the day shows up. And for me, I never used to be like that.
We have to do better at sunsets. We really haven't been hitting the beach to see the sunset, and we have beautiful sunsets.
But that's
here.
a big change for me, and it's something that's really important to me that I appreciate, and that's the time when I'm sitting and being grateful and for everything around me. You see the birds waking up and they're flying around. I never had time for that during my career.
Right.
Now we have time. So instead of getting up and watching TV, get in the car and go watch the sunrise.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
That's a really good idea.
All right.
All right. So the next bucket is, as we age, and this is something to embrace, it's easier for us to trust, right? With age, trusting others becomes easier, opening the door to new experiences and knowledge. Decide in your head, you're going to trust more. So if a neighbor says, I know you're going out of town, I'll bring your trash cans in. All right, great. They don't come in, I don't know, I trusted. No harm, no foul. Nobody got hurt. But be open to new experiences. Trust and form new friendships and get to know people.
Well, that's big for me. We talk about that at the gym. I've made so many new friends at this new gym that I joined because I'm outgoing. I'm saying, hey, how are you? My name is so-and-so. Let's train together today. Where are you from? How long have you been here? I've met the most amazing people.
Yeah, and this is a boot camp environment, so you are paired up with people.
Right.
It's not like you're the annoying guy walking around the gym trying to meet everybody.
But I'm always asking questions.
Yeah.
We're big question people.
Askers.
Because we want to know about people.
Right.
People like to talk about themselves.
That's
so
for sure.
if you trust yourself that you can be open and vulnerable and ask people questions and then, tell them what's going on in your life, it really is fun. It just makes life better. So anyway, just a quick reminder, stay to the end. We're almost there. We're going to give you the 5 steps you can take right now to shift your mindset about this aging process. So I think we've touched on this a little bit a couple times today, but as we age, we definitely have an improved sense of emotional intelligence. And that really enhances our ability to regulate our reactions to what people say and improve our mental well-being overall.
Yeah, I think we have talked quite a bit about that, but really letting go of those negative emotional reactions and deal with things productively and positively, that's something that comes with age. I mean, you don't see a 4-year-old doing that. You don't see a 14-year-old doing that. Oftentimes, you don't see a 40-year-old doing that. But as we age, that's definitely a skill we cultivate.
Yeah, and we talk about that a lot. We've slowed down. We ask questions. We answer them slowly, we meet new people, and we really understand how to react better than just becoming bored right away or ignoring them. So it is a great time for us in this phase of life because of that.
The next bucket is, and this just comes as we age, your health becomes more important. So I'm going to say that again, because if your health isn't becoming more important to you, you need to hit the pause button right now and decide why. Health becomes more important as we age. As we age, we recognize the importance of eating right, exercising regularly, and really being healthy.
And responding to health issues. I have a friend whose motto is, I don't go see the doctor because...
I don't want to look for trouble.
Why look for trouble? I mean, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
Right.
If you've got a health issue, you got to deal with it. You can deal with it. If you ignore it, you're going to have a problem. Health needs to be your number one thing at this phase of life because everything else around it is tied into your health.
And
Wouldn't you say?
What you don't want to do is have your health become the most important thing when you're in crisis mode because you've had a negative health event.
Right.
Right? Health needs to become important while you're healthy so that you can eat regularly, eat healthy, exercise regularly, exercise healthy, and prioritize your nutrition and wellness. Like I said before, if this isn't important to you right now, pause the video and ask yourself why.
I love that. Okay. Valuing your networks. Again, we talked about relationships and friends a lot, but the social networks that we create in this phase of life, they become more and more evident and more important in our lives. We've both have a joint network of couples that we hang out with, and we have our individual networks. But I need some alone time with some other people outside of you and the kids, and vice versa. And then we need some time together with the kids. I mean, you need alone time with your girls.
I do.
I do alone time with my boys. This is the time in life when you got some time. So make sure that you're investing it in the networks that make sense.
Absolutely. And leverage those networks for emotional benefits. Make sure that they're feeding you, not depleting you.
Yes.
Now is not the time to get a network of friends that deplete you of everything. Now is the time for balanced and feeding relationships, I would say.
So we hope so far this has been helpful. We're really talking about how to embrace aging because it's happening. Every single day we're getting older. We're getting closer to our last day. So spending this time worrying about it and being depressed and sad is not fun and it's not healthy.
So the next big bucket is learning and reflection. And this is a bucket that I love. Aging teaches us to value reflection and efficient use of time in learning endeavors. Reflect on actions and their impact. Use your time efficiently and learn from your past experiences. And then embrace the understanding that now is the time to learn.
And I think a good way to learn, really, is to consider other people's perspectives, like ours today. We're giving you our perspective on aging. We've done research, we talk about it, we know what feels better, we know it doesn't feel good when we're negative and complain. So listen to what we're saying and think about it in your own life, in your own relationship, in your own day-to-day activities.
Absolutely.
So, all right, the other thing is, or the next thing, age is just a number. I'm 66. I love being 66. I'm going to be 67 in April. I can't wait till I'm 90. Like, I'm not in a rush to get to 90, but I just think of all the other experiences I'll have, all the other knowledge I'll have, how big this channel will be when I'm 90 years old. Are we going to be doing this when we're 90?
I don't know. I was just going to ask you
You'll
that.
be 82. We'll be the oldest YouTubers on the internet.
I don't know if that's true.
It's just a number.
Yeah.
It's how you feel. It's how you feel when you look in the mirror. This idea of being positive about aging, about all that you can learn, all that can happen in the next 20 years, really helps a lot to bring richness to this phase of life.
I think a big part about this idea that age is just a number is living in your new world. If you're recently retired or about to retire or you've been retired, live in that new world with your new identity and embrace that as if it's all brand new. I think the people that get mired in their age, as a number, are living in the past.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 40 and I could do this. I remember when I was 30 and I did this. They're always going backwards to remember things as opposed to creating and making new memories in the future.
And the other thing I was
So I think there's an identity component to that you have to embrace.
I think it was in this list, but it has me thinking about some of the things I used to be able to do or that I used to like to do that I don't do now. I was a really good water skier.
Oh, that's true.
Really good.
And a snow skier.
I'm going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
And I was really good at water skiing. I haven't water skied in 20 years. I keep thinking I should try it. Now I'm at the point like, you know what? That's a great memory. I was so good at the time. And then snow skiing. I was a really good snow skier. I haven't skied in 5
years, probably.
5 years, probably. And I think about it again. Now that Luca, our grandson, is skiing, I'm like, maybe I should try it once.
Right.
But I'm also like, I'm okay not doing it. I do new things now. But because I'm 66 doesn't mean I can't ski.
Right.
I'm just choosing not to ski.
Right.
So
well, you probably wouldn't do the double black diamonds
I
with
would
all the
not.
moguls and
No.
stuff. But there is a way you could still do it, and we could still do it with Luca.
we could.
And still do it safely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right. The next bucket is embrace this new phase of life with wisdom and awareness, right? So, leisure activities and hobbies that you're cultivating now, that you're learning about, that you're participating in, can improve your health and reduce your health problems or your risk of health problems. Engaging and enjoying hobbies, participating in social and leisure activities. I mean, there's a lot you can do to decrease or reduce the loneliness and increase your interest in life.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do here. You can. I used to love music. I used to have I think back. If I had all the albums that I had in high school and college today, I'd love to have a record player and put them on again. But maybe that's something you want to do.
Right.
Get back into music. Get into theater. Maybe we
get had into arts.
Arts. We've had dance lessons before.
We're terrible.
I know, but
it was fun, but we're terrible.
There's a lot of people that begin a new phase of life at this age with hobbies, music, theater,
right.
dancing, pickleball, golf, whatever. Golf's a new thing for us.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We're really enjoying it. All right, taking care of your cognitive health. So this is your brain health, memory, your ability to speak, your ability to think, your ability to communicate. If you get in, healthy eating, staying active, learning new skills are going to help keep your brain sharp as you age.
And adopting a healthy diet and lifestyle can really feed your cognitive abilities, really feed your brain. Think about those and practice healthy lifestyle behaviors so you can understand the impact of the daily choices that you're making on your cognitive health.
The average number of hours that people over the age of 65 spend watching TV is 38 hours a week. I don't believe watching that much TV helps your cognitive health. Unless maybe some of it is a documentary or it's a workshop or you're learning something on YouTube. But just watching regular old TV, the newsreels and movies, that's not good for your brain. Some TV probably is good for relaxing.
Yeah, I would think so.
But a lot of people spend all their time
right.
sleeping, eating, and watching TV. That's not good for you. All right, so we promised you the 5 steps, and here they are. The first thing that you can do to embrace the aging process and really have more fun going through it is practice gratitude and focus on positives. And I told you what my morning routine is. It's 3 gratitudes, 1 self-affirmation, something about myself that I'm really proud of, that I'm good at, that really makes me feel good. That is such a great way to start your day.
And then 3 things that you're looking forward to.
3 things I'm looking forward to today. 3 gratitudes, 3 things I'm looking forward to, and 1 self-affirmation. Right. That's going to help eliminate the negative thinking from your mind.
Which leads us to the second thing, which is reframe your negative thoughts. I know I don't have to beat this one up, but when you catch yourself thinking negatively about aging, consciously challenge and reframe those thoughts. Replace them with positive affirmations about the advantages and opportunities that come as you age.
All right, the third thing, educate yourself about aging. We can't teach you everything. We can't cover everything. But gosh, read books, watch documentaries, or listen to podcasts. They're going to offer different perspectives on aging that you might not even know about. And learning about experiences of others who've embraced aging really can be inspiring and help enlighten you to think about this phase differently.
The fourth one I love, and that is setting new goals and pursuing interests. Use this time to explore interests or hobbies that you've always wanted to try but never had the time. Setting and achieving these new goals that you're going to set, regardless of your age, can be incredibly fulfilling and a powerful way to embrace the aging process.
Okay, and the 5th thing you can do is connect with and hang out with positive role models. You want to surround yourself with people who have a positive outlook on aging.
Right.
If all of your friends are negative and complaining about their health and complaining about they can't get up and complaining about this, those are people you shouldn't hang out with on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
You've got to find new friends and family members or public figures who talk to you a lot about aging gracefully and joyfully, because you're going to get the inspiration and practical strategies like we tried to do today so that you can enjoy this journey. Now look, aging is a part of life. We can't run from it, and we can't hide from it. So we have to find a way to walk through it with a good mental attitude.
We hope we gave you enough to think about and find a new way to embrace this phase of life.
We hope you like this video. This next one, 6 ways to improve your retirement and life after 60. We talk in there about expectations, about resisting change, and about spending too much time living in the past. So watch this one next.